Geki, welcome to my review of Ghost Stories by Antoine Bauza, distributed in the US by Repos Production. It came out, I think, in 2008, something like that. It has been around for a while now. It's a cooperative game. This is my first review of a cooperative game, so it's gonna be different from the others. I will try to be as clear as I can possibly be and try to give you an overview of the game. It's one of the most popular cooperative games, probably second to Pandemic, and is dubbed as one of the most difficult, almost impossible to win. Is this true? If it is true, is it still a good game? Let's have a look at how the game works, and then we will discuss this and more. This is the typical starting position of a game of Ghost Stories. The position of the colored boards and the position of the tiles will change from game to game, but this is how it will look like when it's set up. And you will start with all the 4 players in the middle. In your turn, let's say it's the blue player turn, the first thing you do is to check whether there are ghosts on your board. So you only care for those on your color board, and in this case there is none because it's the beginning of the game. Then you would flip one ghost. In this case it is blue, so it would go here or here or here. You can choose. This is not determined by the player whose turn it is, but by the color of the ghost. So let's say he had flipped, well, a black one has to go on his own board, but let's say he flipped a yellow one, he would place it on the yellow player's board. Then the blue player has the ability to move and perform one action. Moving means simply moving one spot in one direction, so from the middle you can reach any part of the board. You will never go onto the color boards, only move on the tiles. If you were cornered, you could only reach half of the board. So when you've moved, you have a choice to whether activate the tile on which you're standing or to fight a ghost. So fighting a ghost works like this. You roll 3 dice and you hope to get enough colored symbols to match the resistance of a ghost. All ghosts have a name. Let's see if I can make it focus. Okay, a name, an image, and a resistance up here on the left side. In this case, believe it or not, blue would have killed it because he has 2 whites which are wild. All the other colors match the color of one of the ghosts. Also, let's say you had just 1 blue. If you have colored young tokens, you can spend them to kill the ghost as if you had rolled them. So in this case, with 1 blue rolled and 1 blue Tau token, I think they are called, you would kill the ghost and remove it from the board. This is very important because ghosts do bad stuff. They can do bad stuff when they enter the board, like this ghost tells you to bring in another ghost, thus easily swarming the board. Others steal 1 die until they are killed, like this one, always looking on the lower left corner. And other can do all different stuff, like stealing Tau tokens from people, this, or taking lives away from monks, which are the players. But also some of the monsters have an active power, which is the middle thing. Like this one forces you to roll a black die, which can have their consequences, dire consequences on your game. Finally, some of the monsters, but not all of them, have a benefit if you defeat them. So you keep moving around and killing the ghosts. The aim of the game is to survive until the special ghost, which has a different back, the card is brown instead of being black, is flipped. They are usually very powerful, they are hard to kill. If you kill it, you win. In following modes of the game, you have to kill multiple of those, and so it becomes harder. You can lose in a multitude of ways. whether you are killed, if everybody has lost all their lives, the game is over. And if your board is overrun, meaning it's full when you would have to flip a new ghost, you lose 1 life, so that could easily happen. Otherwise, there are monsters that are trying to devour the village, and whenever this symbol is on the monster, on the ghost, you place a ghost there. He moves every turn. Every time he reaches the board, the village, you flip 1 tile. If you have 3 flipped at any time, you lose. So the other thing you can do beside fighting ghosts is gearing up for ghosts or trying to fight the bad consequences of having ghosts around. There are a couple of places, this and this, where you can get Tau tokens, those colored things that help you kill ghosts. So you go there, you get them, but you're losing time that you will need to fight ghosts, so you have to trade in efficiency for time. Otherwise, there are other ways, like this one allows you to put 1 Tau token, which will then be helpful against all the ghosts of that color. There is one that allows you to move monsters and people around. The Buddhas are these very nice figurines. You can get them, place them on 1 player's board, and they will be able to destroy 1 ghost when he comes up. There are ways to revive dead monks, so you're never completely out of the game. You can be out of the game for a couple of turns, but until one of your teammates will resurrect you. There are ways to kill monsters directly but losing lives, which is very dangerous. And you can unflip tiles that have been flipped. So you will be constantly balancing doing stuff to become more efficient and to take care of most immediate problems with killing monsters, because you have to keep killing them in order to get to the Wu Fang incarnation, the name of the more powerful brown monsters, kill them and win the game. A very cool thing about the game is that each character has a special power, which is very simple in terms of rules, but has a great impact on the game. Actually, every colored board comes with 2 sides with different powers. Red is connected with movement, so on one side he can move twice instead of once when he moves. On the other side, which is my personal favorite, he can move one of the others before moving, so you can position other players in order to be ready to strike where needed. Green has to do with being more efficient when killing monsters. In one version, he rolls 4 dice and never rolls the black die. In the other version, when he rolls his 3 die, he can re-roll some of them, and he can re-roll the black die if he doesn't like it. So both are very, very good. Blue, when he's on a tile, he can both take the action of the tile and try to exorcise a ghost, kill it, basically roll against it. On the other tile, he can either try exorcism twice or activate the tile twice. Depending on the situation, both can be very good, and blue is usually our personal favorite in terms of power, the more powerful. Yellow deals with gearing up to fight monsters. On one version, he can get 1 Tau token each turn. On the other one, he has a special token that allows you for a discount on a monster, make it easier to kill. They can be both useful in certain situations, and there is never a situation in which none could be useful. The variety of the powers, the variety of the monsters makes for a very interesting game out of very simple rules. As you saw, fighting is roll the dice, hope to get the colors, and all you can do is getting Tau tokens in the colors and a few other things. There are these yin-yang tokens which you can spend to take an action of a tile you are not on, and that's the game. You hope to survive, then you rejoice if you finally win, pass to the next level of difficulty, cry hard because you lose, learn more, try to win, and keep going. Okay, so now that you have an idea of how the game goes, I didn't go into details of all the rules, but you should have quite a good grasp of the feeling of the game. You keep getting ghosts out, you walk around the board trying to fight them, and you take care of your own board if you don't want to die. And if you manage to kill the incarnation of Wu Fang, you win. So I like the game a lot. It's fast, fun, it combines simple mechanics into a very deep experience because the choices are always hard. Hard difficulty. So it is certainly a game that is hard to master. The first times you play, you will be smashed, even at the low difficulties. But if you have any experience with cooperative games and games in general, it shouldn't be that hard to move upward the scale of difficulty when you keep playing. So unless you're playing a different game every day and you only play the same game every 3 or 4 months, you shouldn't be too worried about the stories of the unbeatable game. It's hard to get to the most difficult levels, but that's all I play these days, and we still win 1/3 to 1/2 of the times, which I think it's a perfect sweet spot for a game. If you win more than half the time, the winning is not very satisfying. If you win less than 1/4 of the time, the game is frustrating and not very fun. There are certain tricks that you have to learn. You have to learn when to rely on the roll and when to go full prepared and be sure that the roll will not hindrance your chances of winning. But you have to rely on luck. So of course you will never be sure to win a game, but you can reach level of competence in the game that will allow you to win a decent amount of times and still be satisfied. There are people who say this is unbeatable and they still like the game, so this certainly testifies to their good heart and the quality of the game. But I don't want you to think that that needs to be the case for everyone out there. The art is very good. I'm not personally too much into this kind of theme, the Asian fighting monsters kind of thing, nor the Takebao sword fighting thing. But I like the art a lot. Some of it can be a little creepy, so if you're playing with kids you may want to check out the game before, but I don't think there is anything too much over the board. Just take out the bloody eyes, because the bleeding eyes monsters, and you should be fine. Yeah, there are monsters, there is some blood, but nothing too gorish in my opinion, but again, check it out. The components are simple but very good, the dice are nice, the minis are very, very simple but nice, they all have the same static appearance. The cardboard tokens are functional, they do their job without being too fancy. So again, it's a co-op game, so it's important for the mechanism of the game to carry you through the entirety of the game. Also because it's a game without flavor text at all, beside the name of the monsters. So it's not a game like Robinson Crusoe or Arkham Horror or Eldritch Horror or Legends of Endor and so forth and so on, where the description, the story can lead you. Here is all about the mechanic. And it does so in a very interesting way. You have different threats that you have to take care of. There are three different ways to lose the game, but they're all about danger management. Control, keep down the number of ghosts, trim it when it's needed, but don't waste resources killing ghosts that are not doing anything problematic, because you will not have the resources to fight everything. Think in terms of what action is more efficient and beneficial. There are ways to use an action to do more, like when you fight on a corner, you can fight a ghost on both spots, and if you have geared up in tokens, you can kill them both in one shot, which is a very good idea. You will have to go through the game a lot to learn it to its very core. The game is very fresh, it stays fresh. I played it over 30 times before getting an expansion, and I didn't really needed an expansion. I didn't really need an expansion. It was just because I liked the game a lot and I wanted to get something more to it, some more variety in the monsters. They added some good mechanics. I will soon release a review of that one as well, of the White Moon expansion. So stay focused on my channel if you really want to know more about it. This covers it. This is my opinion of the game. A very good co-op, difficult but not too difficult. A game in which choices are meaningful, and yes, luck can destroy your plan, but you will think of how to improve next time. And a game that is hard to beat, but definitely beatable. It's one of my favorite co-ops, and I hope you will like it as well. Have fun playing. Bye!